Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about something that I really didn't want to be dealing with this early, I guess, in putting the car together. The motor's locked up, pretty much seized. So let's get into today's video. Alright, first things first, I gotta give you guys a bit of background history on the motor itself. The motor is a 4-valve 4.6, which is the 32 valve in total dual overhead cam motor that comes in the Marauder, the Cobra, and the Mach 1. Also, it comes in some Aviator Jeeps, but also comes in the Lincoln Mach 8. But the kind of differences between all of them, but all of them are 32 valve 4.6. So took the car out to drive it yesterday. Drove it. It wasn't making any noise, and I pulled up somewhere. I got out, listening to the motor. I was like, you know, that little ticking or licking that I told you guys I was hearing was gone, and it was strange. So I was like, okay, it got to be something in the head. Why it would do that? Why it would go away and come back, go away and come back. Whilst I was standing outside the vehicle, and it was idling pretty good, and then I heard this loud licking come by, lick, 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 and you could hear it. It was up in the top of the head. And I remember that when I first pulled this motor out of the Marauder, because the Marauder been underwater in salt water, so the cam on the left side, on the driver's side, was seized. So I'm assuming that somehow the cam on the left side is now on the right side of the motor, the passenger side, is now seized. Because I heard it and I was listening to it, and as I was listening to the ticking, the motor slowed down, and making this loud noise. And I know what rod knock sounds like, and it really doesn't sound like that. So I heard the motor stop completely, wasn't moving, locked up, going rock. And I heard the cam, it sounds like the intake cam on the passenger side completely just seized up. So I'm assuming to find some bent or broken or seized rollers, or probably a valve or something stuck, or a cam might be broken, a lobe might be scored, something like that. But I haven't opened up the valve covers yet. I am going to open it up off camera and investigate and see if I can get the motor to roll and what it'll do, and then I'll give you guys an update on what's really going on. But after that, after saying that, you know, I have been, since the fuel, remember I said I found a gallon of gas inside my oil. So that's either a leaky injector, or when it was running such high fuel pressure, it probably blew out some seals out of the injectors. But I didn't find any more fuel after I changed the oil and put the fuel pressure to the right pressure, so I'm not too concerned about that. But that fuel did do some damage to this motor, probably cleaned out and dried out some areas that needed oil. So even though it quieted down, now I have to go into the passenger side valve cover, and try to figure out what's really going on with this thing. So I'm gonna do that, but most likely I'm gonna be pulling this motor and putting a different motor in it just to drive it, just to beat on it. Definitely want my drift car running, and it's possible that I might build this 4.6 crank, rods, pistons, valve work, cams, and slap it back in probably after 6 months to a year, however long I take to build it. But this car definitely will not stop any show. We're gonna slap a 4.6 2-valve in it, or any engine that I can find that'll made up to this transmission, and we're gonna continue making videos with this thing. So it being seized is just a part of the game. I'm sure everyone, especially if you're a car guy, you came across a blown motor or something like that before. So it's definitely no fun when it happens, but it is what it is, and you got to keep it moving. So I'm gonna pull that cover and see what we have, see what's the issues. Alright guys, as you can see, valve cover is off. I didn't really find what I was looking for in the head. None of the rockers, none of them seem to be seized. They don't have any rust on them. They're not laying sideways. All of the timing is good. So if the motor doesn't want to turn, it's either on the other side of the head or it's a block. So either way, I think the best thing to do now is pull all of the spark plugs from both sides and see if I can get this motor to roll over and go from there, probably, because I'm gonna have to roll this thing several times with the cover off to just determine what's not working from what is working. Other than that, this side valve cover, I would have to remove my complete brake system just to remove that. So I'm just gonna pull the spark plugs from this side, and we're gonna roll it probably with the starter. If that doesn't work, we try roll it by hand and see what happens. Just gonna continue diagnosing this. Alright, so I went ahead and I pulled all the spark plugs, and I found something pretty interesting, which I need some help on, guys, if anyone knows. I have these spark plugs laid out just as they came out, so from front to back, this would be here from front straight to back. So let's start with the first one. One thing I want to bring to you guys' attention already is like the top of the spark plug. Let me see if it'll focus on that. Right there, the top of the spark plug itself has this like almost look like something been hitting it. I don't know if the piston's coming up that high, but if you notice, it has like a goldish tip to it, and all of these on this side have that goldish tip, like that metal hitting it. And then the other side, which is super strange, has this bluish, blue and gold tip to it. And all of these spark plugs came out of the same pack, so the motor has to be running differently on both banks to produce something like that. But I'm gonna try and roll it over and see what it does. Like I said, the plugs are out. Let's see if I can get this thing to start. Just needed to roll over. On, and like I said yesterday, it was just as I pressed the button, it was going doom, and it's like that. Yeah, I think the motor is seized. I think that's, yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah. Well, I don't know if the battery's not giving off enough juice, but we're gonna try and spin it by hand now. Yeah, so I got an 18mm socket, ratchet, long pole from a jack, and I tried to spin the motor by hand and it's not budging. It's actually just spinning the bolt, and I spin the bolt like a quarter turn. I didn't want to snap it, so it's confirmed this motor is seized, either in the head or in the block. The last time it seized up because of this issue here, the rust that was on the cam from going underwater. So might just have to take apart the heads and get the cam stem redone, probably at a machine shop. Worst case scenario, we got to rebuild the entire motor, but it's still not a worst case because we still get a built motor at the end of the day. So that's where we are now. We fully know now that this motor is locked up. Yeah, so there you have it. That motor is seized, and I have mixed feelings about it. And what I mean by that is, I knew that the motor been underwater. I know that it broke a time machine when it was seized last time. I haven't been able to pull the driver's side cover. I'm gonna have to do that when I pull the motor, but definitely this motor has to come out. It's seized any which way. We're gonna be probably looking into getting a 2-valve normal 4.6 motor, putting it in for the time being. Take our time, build this dual overhead cam motor, and most likely the next time you guys see this thing, it's gonna be boosted and back in the vehicle. So don't take it as in we're gonna stop working on this thing. Actually, a lot more videos to come with this thing, a lot more new videos with new vehicles, so look forward to that. Make sure you guys have on post notifications, hit that bell next to the subscribe button so you guys don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.